Hey, good morning, everybody. Excuse me, and welcome to Success Life. My name is Reid. I am your coach, and I am so glad you took a moment to jump in and join us this morning for Success Life Live. A lot going on this week. So take a minute, jump in, say hello. There's my Polish sister. I so love you. Good morning, Sonia. Good morning, Mohammed. And I see a bunch of other people coming on. Good morning, Julia. Facebook is now loading up everybody so fast. I may not see you, and so take a moment and say hello to each other. Drop a comment, drop a thumbs up, share it out, whatever you can do so I can kind of see you down here, because up there it's hard to see. Thank you, Julia, from Jamaica. My island girl. She be all up in this morning getting herself going. Good morning, Steve, from California as well. I have to drop out of the island accent or it will be with me all day. So if you missed Fun Friend Friday, shame on you. But anyhow, we had Daniel Gomez, who wrote You Were Born to Fly. Fantastic book. Got a chance to read it before our Fun Friend Friday. Good morning, Kimberly. So take a moment, check it out on Amazon. The Kindle, which you do not need a Kindle to read. Kindle is a software, and then they developed the hardware. So you can do it without it. You can do Kindle on your iPad, on your phone, on your Android. The Kindle download is only 99 cents. And if you do it between now and October 2nd, he'll credit towards his Kindle launch, and he'll get to be a #1 bestseller on Kindle launch. So do that. If you missed the interview, it's down in the feed or over on the YouTube channel. If you just go to YouTube and Google Fun Friend Friday, you'll find all the Fun Friend Fridays from the past, as well as Daniel's. So it's over there, and then we got Fun Friend Friday coming up this week. Again, so busy week ahead. So today's Success Life lesson. Bought it, did you? Good, Sonia. Good. We'll talk about it. Maybe Daniel will start a little book club on it. We'll have to talk him into it. So Dissatisfied. I had posted yesterday in the Facebook feed, are you dissatisfied? It's a good thing. And this morning I reminded you again that if you're dissatisfied, it's a good thing. Now, you're probably going, how can being dissatisfied is a good thing? I'm so unhappy, I'm so dissatisfied, blah, blah, blah. Well, first I need to fix two things. Being unhappy and being dissatisfied are not the same thing, okay? Good morning, Diane. Good to have you here. We're going to talk about being dissatisfied and how that is an awesome thing as you head off to Toronto. Travel safely, my friend. So being unhappy is really an emotional state. It's a choice. You can choose to look left or look right. I have nothing. I don't. My life is, I'm unhappy. I'm sad. I'm lacking joy. I'm lacking inspiration. That's unhappy. And you can choose happiness by celebrating and gratituding and journaling. So unhappy and dissatisfied, do not confuse the two. Unhappy is a state of feeling, and unhappy and feelings we can control, we can pass. They're based on what we choose to follow instead of what we choose to do. Dissatisfied is a state of being. And if you're dissatisfied, it's a good thing. Because dissatisfied, it's so funny, my son is part of his spelling lessons right now are doing the re words and the unwords and the dis words and things like that. So dissatisfied means disc, not or incomplete or less, satisfied, full, complete, finished, topped off. So if you're feeling dissatisfied, you're feeling unfinished, incomplete, unfilled, unfinished. Get it? So if you're in the state of dissatisfied, celebrate, be happy, jump up and down. Because what it says is you have an awareness that where you're at now is not where you're going to finish up. Who you are now is not who you're supposed to be. The life you're presently living isn't the end. There's our author, Daniel Gomez. We were just talking about you. Good morning, Ori. So with the state of dissatisfaction comes an awareness, comes a knowledge, comes that uncomfortable thing of being in clothes that are too small. And if you can say, I'm dissatisfied with, even better, because you've identified the beginning point of your next growth journey. If you can say, I'm dissatisfied with, then you know where you want to grow. You know what you're being called into becoming. You know who you're supposed to become next. And if you don't, then your exercise for today, your homework for today, for this week, is to write down a list of the things that you're dissatisfied with. Now, I typically work in the 5 zones: my family, my faith, my finance, my fitness, and my force. Now you're like, what's my force? Am I like some kind of Star Wars guy? Well, force is really the amount of work over time. And so I often think, because it also fits the F thing, that force is my workforce, my team force, my company's force, that work that I'm doing, that energy that I'm putting forth over time and distance equals force. And so, am I dissatisfied with my current family? Am I dissatisfied with my finances? Am I dissatisfied with my fitness? Am I dissatisfied with my faith? Or am I dissatisfied with my force or my work or my profession? I can't think of an F word that encompasses it better than the force that I'm putting out into the world, the things that I'm creating, the legacy that I'm building. Am I dissatisfied in one of those 5 areas? What is that dissatisfaction feel like, look like, taste like, smell like? Why is it haunting me? What is it that doesn't feel like I belong in this place, in this time? What is it that's calling me out of here and over to there? Now, sometimes we get in this dissatisfaction by comparing ourselves to others, and that's not a good thing, because then that becomes competitive and becomes jealousy and becomes all of this negative. Well, they've got a better car, they've got a happier marriage, they've got more kids, they've got more money, they've got better fitness, they've got a better job, blah, 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 I want what they have. Well, so often we get to the grass is greener on the other side of the fence kind of thing, and we end up realizing that it's just the same color brown and it requires us to maintain it. If you can sit quietly and just and listen and say, how do I feel right now? Right now, just use the how do I feel right now about my family. And maybe something will call out, maybe something will jump into your consciousness. Like, yeah, the way I handled the kids this morning wasn't the best. Or, we're not spending enough quality time together on date night. Or you may sit down and breathe in and say, how do I feel about my finances? Now, granted, I'd like the $1 million lotto ticket bank account. So, okay. But how do I feel in general? Do I feel like I'm growing my wealth in a logical progression? Do I feel like I'm drawing in the resources that I need to sustain my family, my business, my dream? How do I feel about my fitness? How do I feel in the present moment now about my faith? Do I feel as if I'm centered in my faith? Do I feel that I'm committed and growing and doing what I need in my faith in order to be the person that I see myself becoming in my faith? How about my work? So go through those 5 areas and just ask. And it's a great way to start each morning, because you can say, how do I feel? Because yesterday I felt pretty good about my fitness. And then about 10 o'clock, I ate some cake and had some ice cream, drank a few sodas, woke up this morning, got the sugar, okay. Whoa, I'm feeling dissatisfied with my health. Now, what can I do to move towards a level of satisfaction, a level of fulfillment, a level of completion, a level of harmony, a level of cohesion, to become more satisfied with my faith, my fitness, my health, my family, my workforce? With amazing clarity. I love that, Gail. And so what did you do? So I'm going to jump on the Gail's thing, that when we wake up some days and we have that energy, we have that momentum, we have that focus, do we grab our iPhones or our laptops or iPads and start going into reacting comparison mode and get our energy pulled down? Do we start looking at what everything's going on around us? Or do we say, okay, I'm feeling really satisfied about this feeling about my health, my business, my career, my family, my faith, whatever it is. Why am I feeling this satisfied? Why am I feeling connected? Why am I feeling complete? Why am I feeling pulled into this? Cool. Got it. Got it here. Got it here. Now, how do I keep that? How do I hold that? How do I multiply that? How do I magnify that? Good, I'm going to stay in it, I'm going to stay in it, going to stay in it. And then you manufacture that feeling of satisfaction intentionally through your actions, through your habits, through your words. But right now, if you're feeling dissatisfied and you're willing to say, it's not unhappy, it really is, I don't feel comfortable, that these pants are too tight, this job is too small, my family isn't responding the way I want to do, the things I need, I got to see the rest, Ori. If I feel dissatisfied, then I'm going to start to celebrate. I'm going to rejoice. I'm going to hands up, yes, I'm dissatisfied, because that tells me I am alive. That tells me I have potential. That tells me I have creative vision inside of me that is calling me into another place. Yes, I am happy I'm dissatisfied, because what that means is this is not where I'm finished. This is not my end point. This is not my done point. This is not my dead point. This is only the beginning of something bigger, better, more. So when I begin to feel dissatisfied, instead of fighting against it and moping and complaining and saying, I'm so dissatisfied, I'm so unhappy, somebody buy me a Starbucks and come sit here in the corner and talk to me. Jump up and celebrate it. Call it out. Say, I am dissatisfied with my family, and I am going to figure out what it is I'm dissatisfied about, and then I'm going to begin to make changes to be more satisfied. Remember, dissatisfied, the dis part. Harmony, satisfied, complete, full, committed, satisfied. When you're satisfied, you'll rub your belly. You'll sit back and go, I am satisfied now. Let that same feeling go over your work. Let that same feeling go over your family. Let that same feeling go over your faith and your fitness and your finances and your work. Be able to go to bed at the end of the day and say, whew, that was a satisfying day. What I did today satisfied my heart, satisfied my spirit, satisfied my intellect. My wife asked me, what did I do wrong? I told her it was not you, it is me. And we could go on to that. So I'll talk about the communication gap. Okay, women in the room, if you're in the room, thumbs up, hands up, listening, because I'm going to give you insight to what happens in here so that you will stop trying to figure it out. We are simple creatures. This thing up here is a one-track mind. This one thing up here works on one channel. And then you gave us a remote with 355 of them. It doesn't work. Women, you were designed by the divine to be able to multitask and multi-think and multi-layer and do things at such levels that men cannot comprehend. We pretend to because our ego. But our physical being, we don't function that. So if you come to us with 4 questions wrapped as one, we will fail you. I guarantee you. We don't sense that the weather is changing and that we need to harvest wheat and put some aside for our children during the cold winter. We're men. Please. We hunt the bear, we kill the bear, we drag it back, and then we say, now what? Somehow you think it's more complicated than that. It's not that we're not listening. We can't process. So women, if you look at your husband and ask him, do these jeans make me look fat? Or should I wear the red dress? And he gives you a blank question. It's not because he's scared to answer. It's because you asked him 2 questions in the same time and he doesn't even know how to answer the first one, let alone what comes second. Communication to our menfolk. Insight. Keep it simple. Give us one thing at a time. Wait for a response. Layer up. Men could give you the insight to women. I know we went completely off track, but Ori asked for it, so I'm giving it. Women don't ask questions for answers. They ask questions to be heard. I know it's a very complicated concept. They don't want us to answer it all the time. They don't want us to fix it. They don't want us to solve it. They don't want us to turn it into some big, long engineering project. They just want us to go, oh, okay, honey, I hear you. Interesting. Oh, interesting. Okay. They're processing verbally. They don't need our input. Plus, whatever we say is going to be wrong anyhow, so don't try. Hope that helps, Ori. You didn't make a mistake. She didn't make a mistake. Everybody communicates. Not everybody connects. How's that? That's a John Maxwell book, but men box it up, only one box at a time. Yes, Marie, raccoon eyes, he told. Yes, see, Marie, she's probably been married like 100 years. She gets it. We got to do one thing at a time, get it big, start, finish, go on, start, finish, go on. Why do you think TV dinners were such a success for us? Everything had its own little spot. Nothing ran together, but we could put it in the microwave and have it all cook at the same time. That is amazing science. 6 different foods, 1 tray, 1 button. How much simpler could life get? So anyhow, I sort of roll off the track. Sometimes the best thing to do is nod your head and say yes. Yes, and when I do coach and I do counsel couples, or I do counsel a spouse that's wanting to grow their family and their relationship, I will often say the best thing you can do is what I hear you saying is, and repeat it straight back. Don't interpret it, don't process it, don't dissect it, don't transfer it. Just what I hear you saying is. And if you get a nod from the other side, you're on track. So back to being dissatisfied. Sorry, I jumped off track, but hey, it's what we do when somebody raises their hand and asks a question. If you're dissatisfied, celebrate it, rejoice in it, be grateful for it. He's been married a long time, so celebrate it, rejoice in it, be grateful for it, because it is calling you into what is next in your life. Don't moan it and complain about it and think that something external needs to happen for it to happen. No. You know what? I'm dissatisfied. I'm dissatisfied with my fitness. What can I do to move forward? I'm dissatisfied with my faith. I'm dissatisfied with my finances, my family, the force, my relationship, whatever it is. Good God, Steve, 43 years. You've been married longer than I've been alive. Yeah, right. Don't fight the dissatisfaction. Lean into it. Don't try and resist that feeling of being dissatisfied. Lean into it. Hold on to it. Analyze it. Dig into it. A big part of what brings people into the coaching experience is that sense of dissatisfaction. And a big part of the coaching process is analyzing what that looks like, what that feels like, what that tastes like, what that smells like, whatever it is, and then moving people out of it and into a state of growth and development and moving forward. All right? So being dissatisfied, it's a good thing. We love it. We celebrate it. We pull it into our lives, not away from us. And so take that lesson for you today. Take your homework assignment and say, where am I dissatisfied? In my faith, in my family, in my fitness, in my finance, or in my force, or we can go ahead and call it a work just because, I like the FFFFFFF, Fun Friend Friday Fiesta wear, or frocks. But anyhow, where am I dissatisfied? What does that dissatisfaction look like? Where does this dissatisfaction come from? And then ask, what can I do to begin to change it? And don't try and do all 5 areas at once. Daniel, homework. Just focus on one little area, like family, finance, fitness, faith, force, and then lean into it and figure out what it would feel like to be a little less dissatisfied. I always move away from things and then try and do these big, giant Superman leaps towards something because sometimes you fall short and it feels worse than being able to say, I step 2 steps away from that and 1 step closer towards what I want. All right? And so thank you guys for joining me this morning on Success Life. Wanted to remind you again, Daniel was our Fun Friend Friday last week. He is up on our YouTube channel, so just go and type Fun Friend Friday on YouTube, or Eric G. Reid, or Daniel Gomez. There's the spelling. Daniel Gomez, and you should find it so you can veer from focus. Okay. So that you can watch that. It was a great interview. I had a great time with him on Fun Friend Friday. Greg is going to be our Fun Friend Friday guest coming up. Good morning, my brother. I just see you popping up. I hope the little lion is doing well today. And so very satisfied with your background. Love the nature. Somebody asked why I switched it the other way, and I thought it was, I don't know why I switched it. I think it was lighting or something. So I'll switch back and forth from time to time. How's that for everybody? But let me know where you're dissatisfied. Let me know what steps you're going to take to begin to change that. Starting today, there's no point in going through life feeling dissatisfied without action. I would rather just be complacent. Funny thing is, there's a lot of people who are unhappy but aren't dissatisfied. And that to me is one of the saddest states of being. Because you're unhappy, but you're satisfied in your unhappiness. You're satisfied in your averageness. You're satisfied with your poop in the mud kind of thing. I would rather be unhappy and dissatisfied, because at least that tells me there's hope, there's growth, there's opportunity, there's change coming. And obviously the best place to be is being happy and dissatisfied, because that means I'm happy with my progress, I'm happy with my growth, I'm happy with who I'm becoming, I'm joyful and optimistic and blessed in gratitude, and I'm still being pulled forward from where I want to be. Well, what do you call? We've talked in the past. We'll talk again. What do you tolerate will never change. Don't even start on that one. That's another 45-minute talk. Poop in the mud. Don't you like poop in the mud? Like, poop in the mud is like, in my mind, poop in the mud, it's like, man, step and poop in the mud. It's like two things at once. You don't know which is which, and it all stinks. Thank you, Marie. Thank you for the work you do every day, for the joy you bring to kids. Thank you, Sonia. I just spent the time with someone like that. See, can you not recognize those people around you who are unhappy and satisfied? Trust me, I got some in my family and they'll sit and, life is miserable, I'm so unhappy. I'm like, and they never say, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to change that, I'm going to get in shape or do this or do that. Would you tolerate? Will never. It's that. And those people, I just want to like gun to my head. It's like, get me out of here. Unhappy, satisfied people. Ugh. If you have them in your life, avoid them. If you are one of them, get dissatisfied about something, because in doing that, you will begin to see your potential. You will begin to see your opportunities. You will begin to see your manifested power. Because even in recognizing that you're unhappy and dissatisfied, you're saying, at least I know that there's a direction to move towards. But to be unhappy and satisfied, you might as well be dead at that point, because you've just thrown up the towel and said there's nothing to change. How can you be unhappy and satisfied? Yes. I mean, poop in the mud. Poop in the mud. That's all I can say. Poop in the mud. That's where that's going to be. Yes, Wounded Warrior is still open. Thank you for reminding me, Greg. A lot of people have come in over the last couple of days and said they wanted to help me with my birthday wish, which was raising $2,222 for the Wounded Warrior Project. And more specifically for those warriors who, September is Suicide Awareness Month, if you didn't know, but 22 vets take their life every hour. It's almost one every 65 minutes because of post-traumatic stress syndrome and related conditions as being a service member, both veterans and active military. And so dear friend David, son is struggling with PTSD. I know several other returning service members who are struggling with PTSD. And the idea of somebody that put so much on the line, did so much for so many people, to come back and feel unhappy and lost and broken and not have the tools and resources to be able to pick up and move forward again, man, that just crushes my soul, crushes my heart. And so for this year, for my birthday, I wanted to make an impact. I wanted to make a change. I wanted to give back to those who have given so much to us and to me personally. And so I started the Wounded Warrior Project on my Facebook page. You can find it, you can link to it, you can donate. You can donate more than once. You can share it out and ask your friends to help me donate. So I'm going to probably leave it through the end of the month, just because I know sometimes we have the best of intentions to do something and then the day and the life gets away from us. So, hey, I'm going to leave the door open for as long as I need to until we hit $2,222. That was just sort of a reference goal for those veterans, to honor them and the lives that we've already lost, and to protect the lives that we can protect. I thank you, Greg, for reminding me that. It's I can't go there this morning, Greg. I can't go there with that. suicide in itself, anyhow, suicide in itself is hard, but to think of our veterans and their families who had a service member that was deployed for a long time, and then having them come back, and that hope of, the kids, like, daddy's home, daddy's here, we're done, we get to be a family, and then waking up one day and daddy's gone and he won't return. I can't imagine the spouse, and I can't imagine the impact of the children and the confusion and the bomb that goes off in the middle of their world when we, as non-active and vets that are coping and surviving, could have done something. And so the Wounded Warrior Project, for that reason alone, helps lift veterans up, helps lift up active service members and their families, and maybe gives a kid a dad for a little bit longer, or gives a kid a more whole dad or mom or grandpa or uncle or whatever that service member served in their life. So think of it in that context. This isn't a political statement, it's not a military statement. It's a statement about a human being that needs a hand, and you can intercede. All right, well, thank you guys so much for joining me for Success Life. I will be back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. I appreciate you guys so much. Don't forget Fun Friend Friday with Greg is coming up. That is going to be a lot of fun. And Fun Friend Friday with Daniel is now posted up on the YouTube channel as well. And so take a minute and watch that, or plug it in as you're driving to work. You'll learn a lot. So is Steve's old Fun Friend Friday up there. We're getting quite a collection of them. I guess they're average about 45 minutes. So if you have to drive to work, you could have a Fun Friend Friday in the front seat with you every single Friday, every single day. Hey, it's a tough one. Gail knows it too. Gail's worked with suicide families and prevention and healthcare providers and recognizing the signs. It's a toughie. I'm not gonna lie, it's a hard thing to handle in our profession. So again, thank you guys for joining me for Success Life. Go out and make today amazing. Go out and get dissatisfied, and then begin to take action. If I as a coach can help you in that journey, let me know. I look forward to that opportunity. Till we get together tomorrow morning, I have an amazing day. Go out and be blessed. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.